Ei, e aí galera, bora pra mais uma live de. Eu ia falar Elden Ring, meu Deus do céu. Mais uma live de Metaphor. E cara, é o seguinte, a gente tá pros finalmente do jogo. Já descobrimos coisas que eu não quero explicar, que meu Deus, virou um rolo esse negócio. Basicamente a gente conseguiu salvar o príncipe e a gente era o príncipe. Puta rolo do caramba. E agora a gente vai descobrir outras coisas que eu também não sei se eu tô a fim de descobrir, mas vamos lá. Quanto mais explica do jogo, menos eu quero saber. Eles viajaram demais pro final dessa história. E a gente ainda precisa voltar a enfrentar o Louis.
Does
Ele nunca
this
morre.
depict the Elda tribe?
Elda comes from an ancient word, meaning only the old ones. It was an alias given by our ancestors to outsiders who visited the village in the distant past. As for our original name, you know it well by now. We were humans.
The human tribe. So Luis's words...
There is no human tribe. Tribes, as we know them today, did not exist then. We were all one people. Humankind.
A world united. But wait. The ruins on Virga Island. There's nothing left of the civilization today. Was it destroyed? Why? How?
A war. One that all but destroyed the world past. But its destruction was born of the discovery of Magla. Or as you call it today, magic. Do you wonder what they battled over? Without the divided tribes, what could they have disagreed on?
A gente meio que descobriu essa história aí dos humanos terem o passado do povo aqui por causa do templo antigo que a gente acabou indo. Mas a gente não tava em busca dessas respostas, a gente só tava ajudando a menina lá.
Over the abstract, undefinable idea of rightness. They tried to destroy something invisible, and destroyed only themselves. And any idea of absolute rightness is born of fear. That fear flooded the world and gave way to war. And their age of prosperity came to be called the world before. The people we now call tribes were either born of artificial division for the sake of the war effort, or natural adaptation to survive the hellscape after.
A humanidade foi dilacerada pelo medo e ansiedade, criando tribos em seu estado atual.
We've met plenty of people caught up in pointless conflicts. Given the choice, I know they'd rather live in a world without tribal division. And yet the truth is, that world has already fallen apart. More than that, it's how we all got here.
Such drastic physical changes would normally have taken eons to effect. Accelerated by Magla, however, it was only a matter of a scant few centuries. You understand now, yes? We, the Elda, are the survivors of the old world. Our ancestors fled the flames of war and thus escaped the ensuing divisions.
Isso quer dizer que o príncipe, ou seja, eu tenho a herança tanto do velho mundo quanto do atual.
Becca's belief. It is nothing short of astounding. But then, why do we know these monsters as
Por causa da magia, pô.
By the war's end, both sides were consumed by fear. Their magical assaults escalated with each retaliation, until it was beyond all control.
Tem uma parada nas cidades que parece que ela tira a magia de lá. Parece que se tem magia demais, o povo fica meio doido e eles viram os inimigos que a gente enfrenta.
Rampant Magla distorts the body
Olha aí.
and mind. By now, I'm sure you know that better than you ever wish to. Humans are what remains of that branch of humankind that succumbed to melancholia. Broken, horrifying testaments to their own mistakes in the war of magic. Some persist, breed, and multiply as any beast does. Others live centuries of agony before their lives burn out. Even we do not know the full scope of their nature. Regardless, when the 8 tribes settled in this land, our claim to the human legacy was forgotten. To the people, the name only meant slavering, insane monsters. Therefore, we took on an alias instead. The same one by which we are known today. The Elda.
So, the old world couldn't control its magic, and... Wait. How does the Sanctus Church fit in? All this revisionist history to spread their magic igniters.
Indeed, what are magic igniters to you? Tools for the Church to shackle the people, perhaps? Or weapons that hide magic's true potential? Am I close to the mark? In truth, it's the opposite. Igniters are tools made to limit magic. Restraints made in self-discipline, meant to avert a repeat of history's destructive mistakes. The Sanctus Church of today is muddied by greed, but its faith was born of good intentions. They once urged self-control, and thus control of one's personal magic. At times, they preached we must close our eyes to the truth when it would only lead us to ruin. By this benign tenet, history was obscured, and the Elda denounced.
I had no idea. There's a grim irony in that.
His Majesty only hid his son's ancestry to protect him. Yet in the end, that meant Forden could attack the village under any pretext he liked, his motives concealed.
With all that said, you have now reclaimed your true form. The friends that stand with you are of different tribes and ideologies, but of one mind. As you are now, you may walk the path of the rightful king. The path of a modern world, where the tribes walk as individuals, yet with mutual respect and cooperation.
The sovereign's power, thou king to be, entrusted with the will of the people. To bear their hopes is to be their rock in the storm, and to face anxiety in their names.
Aí a gente vai acabar ganhando um novo arquétipo. Eu tomei um spoiler nos troféus.
Yet, anxiety itself is not something to blindly reject or desperately cast away. It begins with a simple thing, acknowledging its existence. Accept thy weakness, walk forward alongside it, and thou wilt grow strong and true in its company.
A verdade é que as pessoas são fracas. Sei que tem muita gente pensando que ajudar os necessitados não passa de um sonho distante. Mas não posso simplesmente aceitar os métodos do Luiz, deixar os fracos e os dissidentes morrerem como uma consequência natural. Nossa, a gente vai virar o rei? Eu sou o deus dos mares. Troféu conquistado, Sua Majestade. Minha determinação de desafiar o desconhecido despertou a representação heróica Príncipe. Mesmo que as pessoas não entendam de imediato, não tem problema. Sei que será significativo demonstrar minhas convicções de combate. Essa é a minha missão. Pronto, já decidi. Agora vai aumentar o do mago também.
Where's this coming from?
Before we got there, this guiding voice thing told me my duties were over. But what am I gonna do? Just go, okay, bye? Especially after we've come this far together? No. I'm going to face Luis with you. Even if it is scary.
Even you've got to cope with anxiety, eh?
I've realized something in our travels. Anxiety can lead people astray. But overcoming it makes a person stronger. There's always anxiety in the unknown. I know what it's like to be afraid of something I don't understand. That's why I think it's my duty to help people face and connect with their anxiety. Is that okay? From now on, it's not about orders. I'm with you, because I want to be.
Eu achei que você já tava desde antes. Desde antes.
I'll be counting on you as always.
Same here. Stick close to me, okay?
Não aumentou? Eu achei que ia pro máximo agora.
But the problem
Amizade
remains.
com ela.
Luis's dark magic. We've seen it turn the boy into a monster. And no doubt he can do it again.
A forbidden spell, turning sane mortals into the fearsome human monsters. In other words, a destabilizing magic, turning a person's magla into a snarl beyond control. This man named Luis, he may have his own past in this ancient sanctum.
Luis has been here? What do you know of him?
What do you wish to know?
Me fala sobre o Luis.
Who exactly is Luis?
Every time I heard of his doings in the wider world, I felt more and more sure that Luis is from this village. His knowledge of humans, his skills in magic, his grasp of darker arts, they're all beyond a mere soldier to begin with, however prodigious. As it happens, a name does occur. Among those old families who perished in the fire,
É o nome da nave dele.
name of Caradrius, a family of doctors, I believe. In an effort to better heal the ills of the people, they had studied spells much like the ones he now exploits. The details are long since lost to the fire. But if Luis bears our legacy, that may be the reason for his vast knowledge.
Wait. What about Luis's ambition? The vision Rella saw? Do you think he actually wants to turn everyone in the kingdom into humans?
There is no known magic strong enough to turn many people at once, and none that can be cast quickly.
Even if it was possible, I don't know what it would accomplish. But this is Luis we're talking about. Who knows what he's thinking?
What do you wish to know?
Tá, sobre o feitiço,
What
fala
is
aí.
this forbidden spell?
The essence of magic is in the control of Magla. However, just as its chaos may be calmed, it can also be deliberately pushed out of control. That was what you saw. He whipped your innate magic to a frenzy and you were lost to melancholia. Just as the humans of the ancient war once were. In every age, the cause and effect are the same. People learn fear, become slaves to their anxiety, suffer. And thus, the power of magic is born.
Pardon me. You mean to say anxiety is the source of all magic?
Magla is a substance born of the heart, generated when one feels anxiety or fear. By certain means, it may be kindled into power. That is what we call magic. In this way, it is by virtue of the anxiety in our hearts that we gain the power to overcome it.
Então é assim que a
Magic is a
gente
natural process.
vai aprender a voar.
Anxiety
A
is its
voar quando
invaluable,
ansiosos.
irreducible fuel.
Vamos conseguir soltar Kamehameha também, vai dar boa.
Those burdened with more anxiety and fear produce more and more magla from their hearts. Without the willpower to face your fear, the magla overflows. Uncontrollable by magic, it can give rise to strange and terrible happenings as it manifests, with the world embroiled in chaos. These outbursts of swollen magic may be happening all across our kingdom.
'Tis the answer to everything. The melancholia crystals. The beasts driven feral. The very land is erupting with the weight of its people's fears.
Hold on. If Luis's art is rooted in bringing out this chaos, then anyone might be next. He said he became a monster because he's Elda, but that wasn't the complete story. If what you say is true...
Indeed. All people today are ultimately descendants of humankind. If Luis so chooses, He could turn anyone into a human monster. Yet as long as you have the strength to confront your fears, even this transformation may be defied and overcome.
But if he would turn people into humans, if in the unlikely event that happens...
If there is any motive for such cruelty, it can only be hatred. If Luis is truly from this village, then their fire would have cost him everything. Such unjust tragedy could easily beget a thirst for revenge, even if it meant wielding a magic that twisted life into something terrible, instead of uplifting it. Indeed, it seems the opposite of an archetype. A truly dark power.
Who goes there? Someone flees!
That's him. The malformed assassin who struck at the prince. He's bound for the woods.
After him!
O estranho é que esse cara, ele tava acompanhando a gente desde o início. Deixa eu salvar aqui. Tava demorando pra ele aparecer. Ele apareceu logo quando a gente chegou aqui. Eu achei que ele tava vindo ainda tentar achar esse lugar, mas ele já tinha passado por aqui. Cara, eu não vou falar com esse pessoal, não. Vambora. Não tá falando nada de bom. Não sei se eu tô perdendo missões por causa disso. Vamos comprar mais um equipamento aqui. $70, 31, 58. Vamos com esse 70. Eu posso escolher se eu quero espírito de fogo, gelo ou eletricidade. Cara, como é o mago... Puta, ela tem todos os elementos. Eu vou com fogo. Só vai dar pra comprar um.
Indeed.
Foi pra 16 mil. Já tinha outras coisas aqui, mas eu espero poder voltar aqui mais tarde. Estão todos seguros. Sim, não houve baixas, mas nunca me senti tão insignificante. Maldito nem notou minha presença. Sou inútil. Não consegui sequer reagir ao invasor. Fiquei inerte como uma estátua. Não havia muitas alternativas. Por mais que o invasor fosse responsável pela derrocada da resistência, nossa reação poderia resultar em sacrifícios desnecessários. Acho que o bandido sentiu o enorme poder mágico resultante da ressurreição de Sua Alteza e veio ver o que aconteceu. Não sei por que fugiu, mas aposto que tem um plano. Tome cuidado. É mesmo, a gente mudou de arquetipo, né?
What now?
Não, eu ainda tô como Salvador. Será que eu teria que estudar? Aqui, ó, Príncipe. Tá, deixa eu pegar dano de queimadura, vento, luz e cura. Pode ser quantidade média. É que ele usa esse tipo aqui. Tá, só ele tá usando espada desse tipo. Beleza. Vambora.
Ready?
Eu devia ter salvado ali, né?
Stop! You. Zorba.
So it was you behind the attack?
Indeed it was. I killed the prince, though he died all too easily. And the odd thing was, his aura felt awfully similar to yours. So I decided to bide my time a while and listen. And it's a good thing I did. There really is something stranger going on. Who are you? Are you the prince or not? Whatever your answer, I must report back to Lord Luis.
Do you have any idea what Luis is really scheming? If he becomes king, everyone in this country is doomed.
If that is what Lord Luis so desires, then I shall see it done.
It's almost impressive how blind your faith in him is.
I suppose it's just easier to follow instead of thinking for himself. He's forgotten anything he really wants.
What do you intend to do? The crown is too heavy a burden for your reedy frame. Lord Luis is the true king, who will save the worthy. And you are nothing but a powerless imposter, only fit to be sacrificed.
He is no imposter, fiend. His Highness has finally taken his first steps on the road to victory. Here, at his journey's end, after enduring these countless hardships, he has become a true successor, a true ruler. Because he knows the people's suffering firsthand.
Well, imposter or not, it's all the same if he's a corpse. And so I shall return the prince and his dying legacy to the underworld, where they belong.
Bastard! I wondered why you ran away, but it was all to lure us straight to this monstrosity.
Keep your guard up. The melancholia is fueling his magic power.
We've come too far to be stopped by something like him. Let's put our power on full display.
Não tem ninguém com cura, né? Talvez vai dar ruim. Poder do seu mais novo arquetipo, Príncipe,
shows up again just when we've unlocked some new power. Kinda feels like fate by now. Okay, time for a new fight. Stay on your toes.
Príncipe é um arquetipo exclusivo do protagonista. Você pode usá-lo como arquetipo já estudado na academia e trocá-lo quando quiser. Eu já fiz isso. Ele pode agir como suporte para todas as técnicas de síntese. Ele pode atribuir atributos exclusivos inexistentes em outros arquetipos, mas nenhuma de suas técnicas adquirida pode ser transferida para outro arquetipo. Que doido! Tá. São poucas pessoas que têm luz. É só ele que tem trevas. Raio também. Eita porra! Tá, ele tem golpe de vento. Eu preciso tirar aquela menina dali. Ô tiozinho, tá bom já, né? Eu vou ter que recuperar nossa vida. Eu vou ter que recuperar a menininha. Eu vou ter que tirar a menininha daqui. Eu não consigo ver. Tá, consigo. Ó, o feiticeiro, ele é forte contra vento. Pelo que eu entendi, é vento que esse cara tá soltando. Nossa, gritou a menina, meu Deus. Eu tenho uma parada aqui pra recuperar de estado. Ansiedade. Cara, eu acho que é fogo. É que tem várias coisas pra atacar. Talvez fogo aqui, ó. Taca todo mundo, vamos ver quem toma esse dano. Gritou. Então, ó. Tem um ponto que é resistente à eletricidade, que é o pote dele. Dano médio é onipotente a todo mundo, vai lá.
Observe the enemy.
Tá, sobrou a perna e a asa. Vamos atacar a perna. Taca fogo aí. Ah, eu tenho que cortar a asa pra ele parar de dar esse dano de asa, é isso? Cura todo mundo aí. Esse carinha, ele tem esse golpe aqui. Ó, dano físico médio a todo mundo de 3 a 5 vezes. Dano grave a 1. Cara, é dano médio. Isso aqui é médio também, né? Não, é dano fraco. Eu vou me arrepender, mas vai lá. Vai a magia onipotente aí. Safado, vai recuperar a vida. Sabia. Eu tentei cortar antes, mas não rolou. Tem alguém fraco contra... Ai, meu Deus, tem dano de corte agora. A gente... Apertei sem querer. É, só que a gente tem que atacar a perna. Ô tia, você não ataca mais de um lugar, não? Dá pra atacar o escudo. Taca fogo aí, vai. Beleza, ele não vai ter mais esse ataque de corte. É, mas ele ainda tem o... Vou atacar esse mesmo. Podia ter gritado. Tá, vai esse dano onipotente aí. Nossa, cara, não acabou com a asa dele. Cara, chato. Bota fogo aí, Rokenberg.
Let's stay calm.
Looks like we can't brute force through this one.
Vida's power.
Vou atacar esse clone.
Maybe not. Let's work together.
Dano extremo de perfuração. Diminui o ataque dele. Dá pra tacar fogo também. Extremo de gelo pra todos. Acho que eu vou me arrepender disso. Eu não testei se ele é resistente a gelo.
Reel and run. Now accept your fate.
Quick, knock them off again.
Eu não descobri a fraqueza disso aqui. Dano grave de corte a todos os inimigos. Pode infligir encanto. Ou dá pra causar vento pra geral. Tá, vamos tentar infligir encanto. Tá bom, acabou com tudo. Dano médio de fogo pra geral. Dano... Cara, quero um dano forte, hein? O que é isso? Tá, vamos de dano forte de fogo. Ah, mas é pra um só? Que merda. Não quero. Dano médio de fogo eu tenho.
Oh, mystic fire! How's that?
It's okay. We can do this.
Ai, ai, meu saco. Eu já taquei fogo?
Let's go.
Tá, vou tacar ciclone.
Scour.
Que fogo outros carinhas têm.
Quick, knock them off again!
Witness our secret technique. I'm a sniper.
Vou tacar isso aqui mesmo. Cara, e não tem um coisa fraco, né?
After me.
Não tem, mas isso aqui dá muito dano. Safado desviou.
Wizard! Not now.
Cara, é fogo. Safado. Vou recuperar o PV da galera.
Helpful as ever.
Quite a boon.
I'm obliged.
Be neither timid nor a sniper.
Tenta atacar. Dano físico fraco a todos. Não entendi. De 2 a 3 vezes. Tá, o de baixo é sempre melhor. É que é dano físico fraco, mas acerta mais de uma vez.
I shall fight. No holding back.
Tá, tenta torrar ele, vai. Na verdade, se eu não me engano, aumenta o poder de ataque básico em 50%. Deixa eu ver. 171 só? Que lembro. Só foda. Eu vou tirar esse carinha.
Let me handle those apples. All right. Now it can't heal itself anymore. Don't waste your chance. Get in there.
Wizard!
Cara, tem esses danos aqui, mas não é muito bom. Tenta deixar ele torrando.
By this power.
Aumenta o dano contra monstros do tipo humano.
I'll cut through.
Real and right.
Você eu vou trocar.
Will fly true.
Vamos... Ó, ela vai tomar dano de vento. Esse... Ele não tem dano de gelo, né? Eu vou pegar o brutal.
I'm counting on you.
Nice head.
I can't afford. I call upon royal power within.
Cara, e esse talho aqui? Será que...
Down.
Presente. Agora a galera é resistente e ele não ganha mais um golpe desse. Torre esse safado. Cara, você seria muito bom dar um corte desse, mas recupera a vida.
My thanks. That's neat. That helped us out. Who should I be?
Você, filho, tem um golpe dele aqui
I love this part.
que ele ignora a resistência. Diminui muito o ataque do inimigo por 3 turnos. Tá, vamos diminuir o ataque dele por 3 turnos.
Drop dead. I thought they're still breathing.
Quick, knock them off again. Regenerate the headwinds. Here comes another round of wind attacks. Legs are back to normal.
Voltou tudo, cara. Pô, pior que a gente nem teve tempo de atacar. Cara, eu não vou ficar... é que eu tinha que destruir essa porcaria. Tá, dá esse corte aí. Acabou com a recuperação de vida, né? Beleza, tem as pernas e tem as asas. Torra ele. Corta ele. Cara, para com isso, velho. E o safado come ela antes de eu poder destruir de novo. Eu tô ficando sem PM. Vamos causar fraqueza nele? Puta, ele vai usar o meu PM. Aí o próximo golpe vai ter fraqueza de pancada. Que isso? A gente tá sem efeito de penalidade. Eu já dei dano forte de eletricidade. Cara, dá eletricidade nele, deixa eu ver. Eita porra, não dá não. A gente vai precisar disso aqui. Matou? Matou. Ganhamos uma espada do vento. Novos níveis. Cara, pode aumentar isso aí.
Marvelous. Feels like I'm making progress. The bastard got away.
I say, you chaps boggle the mind. It's no mean feat to fight on even footing with a human.
I'd hoped as much. You may yet have the power to face Luis at his full strength.
It's good to see you're safe. We've certainly taken these powers a long way. Maybe we thought ourselves invincible, but don't worry. At long last, the prince is safe. In a manner of speaking. Everything's going according to plan.
Still, what's our next move? The people think you a monster. We'll not find any public backing like this.
Alces once said that His Highness the Prince was a soul born into adversity. He is royalty and elder both, heir to the legacies of heaven and earth. He is water and fire, in condemned conflux. When the day comes that His Highness may be revered as the good ruler he can be, then the world will truly be free of prejudice. And that, he said, is why we fight.
In his own words, huh? We have to fight for what he believed in. All the more reason we can't turn from this.
Right.
Não existe método para mudar anos de preconceito do nada, mas se eu não acreditar que as coisas podem mudar, elas continuarão como estão.
Come what may, my life is a shield raised in your highness's name. Are you prepared to fight Luis to the bitter end?
Of course. I'm prepared.
Yes. That determination is how we'll stop him.
If he ends up king, he'll be sending all traitors to the gallows. Not just us, but any innocent folks he doesn't find useful.
Temos tantas vidas perdidas durante a jornada. Se o mundo acabar como Luis quer, nós veremos. Nós só veremos essas pedidas. Temos que defendê-lo.
Look, I'm never giving up hope either, okay? All we have to do is beat him, right?
É, meio que isso, eu espero.
Yeah, it's not gonna be easy. But we work best under pressure anyway.
You... I'm still amazed. You really do look just like your mother. Truly, you are a child of fate. Your mother, she loved your father and you with all her heart. The injustice that befell this village is not your fault. But listen well. Once you leave this village, you cannot return until you have fulfilled your ambitions. After all, an old crone like me can't take care of you forever. If you want to overcome your hardest challenges, you'll have to face them yourself. The world's fate is in your hands. Please, put an end to the tragedies of humankind's failures.
Tá bom, tia. Valeu pela ajuda.
For everything.
Our final battle lies ahead. We cannot lose. Yet, before all else, His Highness has only just awoken. Let us rest in the gauntlet runner for today, and advance to the royal capital tomorrow.
A gente vai direto pro final, cara. Eles não vão deixar eu fazer mais nada. Sacanagem.
It's a bit strange, isn't it? I was convinced we'd been together for a long time. But I can't believe we've only just met. The beginning of my journey may have been a false memory. But my journey with you and the memories we've made, those are all real. Oh, guess I'm repeating myself. But I'm glad we're working together.
Tá bom, digo mesmo.
Likewise. I'm glad to be your ally.
Yep. Though, I guess our toughest challenge is next.
Posso sentir a convicção da Gálica para superar os obstáculos, bem como o vínculo inabalável como amiga e aliada.
The mystical fairy, Gallica. She who still keeps the virtues of the mage. Your tempered bond has become a fire-forged trust. Thus, a new pinnacle of heroism awakens within thee. By the grace of her newfound powers, work together to give truth to our hopes and fulfill thy destiny.
Grau 8. O grupo pode estudar as classes de elementarista e arquemago. Durante o combate tático, você ganha ícones de turno extra. Interessante. Isso aqui avança de acordo com a história, a gente não tem muita escolha disso.
Remember this magic. The music meant for you will play in your head.
A magia da música que Gallica conjurou uma vez pra mim. Pensando agora, talvez tenha me ajudado de alguma forma que nem percebi.
By the way, the chieftess told me something about your novel. Apparently your parents gave you that book when you were still just a kid. I wonder what your parents wanted you to get from reading it. What they hoped for you, I guess. I suppose you'll have to find out for yourself.
Meus pais, em outras palavras, os falecidos rei e rainha do santuário Elda, me deram esse livro. Talvez a utopia ilustrada no livro não seja mera fantasia, mas história do velho mundo transmitida pelas gerações do
The part we're
santuário.
reading today is the last chapter. It's about the ruler of this ideal world. Let's read it together. The last chapter is about the ruler of a utopia. The one who governs this utopia must have an unwavering will. To maintain justice in this world, there are innumerable obstacles to overcome. Yet, as long as one lives by their ideals, those who support them are sure to follow. A utopia is not the creation of a single mind or a single power. It is a world shaped by all its people. The last part sounds a little more metaphorical. There's a little more. However, even a utopia may one day fray at the edges, and its people may come to conflict over the question of what is right. What is a true utopia? What is a true ruler? None have yet found the answers to these questions.
Nenhum livro tinha as respostas. Ninguém ainda encontrou uma verdadeira utopia. O velho mundo, que parecia ser exatamente como uma utopia ilustrada nesse livro, acabou metido em guerras e foi destruído. Se esse livro realmente segue o velho mundo, seria mesmo um romance sobre ideais? Parece ser o
So even the
contrário.
author of this book struggled with these questions. And if you become king, you'll have plenty of tough questions and struggles to face yourself. Lady Gruaday mentioned the king was a real idealist when he first arrived at the village, that little by little. The pains of reality crushed his hope. And he even lost his son. In the end, his will was broken. He didn't lift a finger to stop the church's rise to power. With that in mind, I can honestly see why people would be drawn to Luis. His values are radical and cruel, but he's devoted to them. Unshakable, even. But we can't lose either. For the sake of everyone who has believed in us along the way.
Nossa, Unshakable é inabalável. Mesmo se eu vencesse e reivindicasse o trono no momento, não há garantia que sou capaz de concretizar meus ideais quase ingênuos. Só que minha única opção é acreditar neles e seguir em frente. Caso contrário, nada mudará para valer.
To change the world. And the one who gave it to you was, well, yourself. And that's what I'm going to help you with. That's my mission. My real mission. And I'm going to see it through.
Depois de conversar com a Gálica sobre o romance e ideais, fechei os olhos. A gente voltou lá pra academia. E quem que é tu? A academia parece invocado por Mar num sonho.
So, you found a way to unequivocally shape your destiny. As far as I know, there is no record of your newly acquired archetype ever being used, even in ancient times. An archetype whose existence was only theoretical, known to some scholars as the magic of true sovereignty. Indeed, a power of legend. I once said that to be Elda was your inescapable fate. However, it seems the truth was more complex than that. Magic is a process by which we confront fate and tame anxiety. And archetypes are its essence. They are manifestations of a resolve capable of heroic virtue. So then, what do you think is the foremost, most inescapable fate a person must bear?
The foremost fate? Not really sure, but for me to be me, and for you to be you? Or something like that.
Indeed. It is birth that is inescapable. You cannot choose who you are born to. And once your familial place is determined, that fate cannot be changed. Yet by some strange tangle of destiny, you were given a choice that the very act of existence denies most people. By your own will, you were born again as a prince. Do you understand? You stand on the threshold of truly becoming a ruler, not as an unearned title of bloodline's chance, nor as a mere authority over people. You have taken control of your life. You are
Esse
ready
negócio
to rule your very self.
dele nasceu da própria vontade dele. Ele literalmente surgiu no ar. Ai, ai.
That is what it truly means to be a hero. And it is the crux of the power that is awakened within you. What glorious coincidence indeed, that I, as a scholar of archetypes, might cross paths with and witness such a remarkably fated boy. It almost bespeaks.
Indeed, 'tis his hands that bear our fate.
Who? I remember. I know that I know this voice. Had I forgotten it all this time? Yes. I swear I've heard it before. And I let it slip from my mind. Who are you?
You, with this voice that moves hearts, speak. Who are you? Why have you awakened this boy to his power?
If it is answers you seek, then go and claim them.
Are you? Could you be?
As for you, I bid thee awaken. Move onward to thy final ordeal. Take thy place at the final proving of the ascension of kings.
Minha consciência se desfez e eu fui mandado de volta ao sono pelo resto da noite. Isso me lembra o autor do livro de fantasia Amor. Será que Moore também visitou o santuário Elda antigo?
Time marches on, and the age of a new king draws nearer.
Agora virou eu. E já era eu antes, né?
Okay, all our preparations are just about set. Now that this is actually happening, I've got some pre-show jitters.
Eu queria mais tempo pra fazer mais
I
coisa.
always felt they lived in a different world to the likes of me. Never figured I'd be walking alongside one myself.
'Tis proof that bloodline decides nothing. We are one people living in a shared world.
Looks like this is gonna be our last mission. Any final words you want to say?
Sim, eu quero mais tempo. Fiquem firmes até o
Can't
fim.
give up. Stand strong to the end.
Of course. No way we're losing here. I've got the fire in me eyes now.
About the new stuff you've felt and learned since becoming the prince. Can I ask you one more thing? Why is it that you want to be king? It's not about honor or power, is it?
Tia, nem eu lembro porque que eu quero ser rei. Dinheiro é sempre bem-vindo. Não me importa com honra. Vou proteger o país e
I
o
want
povo.
to protect this country and its people.
'Tis the answer I hoped for. As your knight, I will ever serve you with all my soul and ability.
Well, I guess this means we're ready as we're gonna be.
Eu não consigo voltar pra lá. É que eu não tinha mais dinheiro também pra voltar.
Come on.
A gente precisa vir pra cá.
You see?
Duvido que nossa recepção na grande trade seja muito calorosa. Ainda assim, se não lutarmos, as vítimas dos ideais do Luiz só aumentarão. Muito fácil falar que a gente vai ajudar todo mundo, mas fazer é diferente. Mais um motivo para provar nossa determinação arriscando o pescoço. Nós vamos mostrar a eles. Além disso, não será a primeira vez que esperamos as piores adversidades.
After having made so many sacrifices, the group has gained new powers and ascertained new truths. Their arch-enemy, Luis, already has one hand on the throne. Even so, they march ever forward, spirits rekindled by battle.
A gente ganhou, né? Todas as batalhas contra o Luis.
The fight is far from over.
That Elden boy is nowhere to be found. I suppose it's only a matter of time until Luis takes the throne.
Sumiu mais um carinha
I
daí.
don't see the general. The voice of the pro-Luis faction became too overwhelming. He was ultimately forced out of his position. Why is this happening? Even if the Sanctus Church's favor has collapsed, why is it that Luis alone is reaping the benefits?
The public mind is the same as it's always been. It's too difficult to find answers in themselves, so they follow those who provide. We've certainly relied on that ourselves.
It's always easier to follow than to have to make all the risks yourself. Now that we are out of ideas, what can we do?
Can you imagine Luis on the throne? Can you imagine what he'd do with us? We'd be the first on the chopping block. Do we hide? Run? Our ships are in port.
Is this really the time for idle chit-chat?
Who are you?
Just a passing wastrel. Thought I'd drop in for a word since I was in the area. You might have one way to survive.
Well then, let us depart.
Lord Luis, your pardon. We've encountered an
Mas o cara
unexpected
tá vivo
scenario.
ainda.
I killed the prince in the Elden village. I confirmed his death, yet it appears the boy candidate has merged with his corpse. It seems the prince is now resurrected.
Resurrected?
Yes, and what's more, the boy candidate was the actual prince after all. Something about his soul having traveled independently, and then returning to his corporeal body.
I see. So his ideal form was spun from Magla. Whatever the case, this means the land's true prince has reawakened in his sanctum. How interesting. After these long years, my chase may finally come to an end. My nemesis awaits.
Lord Luis, what is it about that bastard that fascinates you? Yeah, I won't let it end like this. I have to do better. I need more power. I will show Lord Luis I am worthy of his gaze.
We'll soon be arriving above the royal capital.
Excellent. As planned, increase altitude and enter the royal palace in the sky.
Are you certain? We'll be heading directly to His Majesty, the former king, and...
Rest assured, that old fool is powerless to stop me now. Proceed.
Understood.
Let the final banquet begin.
Eu tô na dúvida se eles vão seguir o que a gente fez até aqui. Eu não sei se vai ter uma masmorra com dias pra gente ir atrás dela.
Any bets for the other candidates? Remember, if Luis loses, a silver coin could turn into mountains of reef.
What are you trying to say? You think Count Luis is going to lose?
Oh no, of course not. I'm just saying.
I'll call that bet. All in on His Highness the Prince.
A sanctus bigwig gambling away his tithes? This really is the end of the world. Didn't know his esteemed princeliness had any supporters left.
I mean, he's not really the prince, is he? Was actually a monster in disguise all along. Haven't you heard the news?
The times we live in, I'll tell you.
Must be tough, being an easy mark. It didn't take much for you to buy everything Luis was selling about the prince. The fireworks went off the moment he said, "Behold." Remember? You don't think there's any chance Luis orchestrated the entire thing?
Oi, churchman! You've seen Count Luis lie to us? You think he cast some big illusion?
An illusion, eh? What if I said it's a power more dangerous than that? Always struck me as odd. We all know Luis, the mighty human slayer, but how does he keep finding the things one after another? Seems a bit convenient, if you ask me. Like he knows in advance where these monsters will appear to cause havoc.
Easy to nitpick and gripe about him, isn't it, churchman? Maybe someone needs to shut you up.
All right. Let's keep things civil, eh? No sense becoming a monster yourself.
Oi! What's all this fuss about? Damn it! When Count Luis is king, you'll all be the first at the gallows. You'll die just like Forden.
Well, they're probably just as anxious as the rest of us. All that yelling and thrashing helps fight it off. Humans have been sighted near the capital, after all.
It's more than that. Pockets of society have resented the upper class for ages now, but this might be the spark that lights the kindling. Luis's respect for power is certainly cruel, but it's fair to an extent. Those of us pushing the status quo have always struggled to understand the appeal.
Even then, everyone's on edge. They'll jump at any excuse to argue and snarl at each other. Never seen it this bad. Not normal, I say.
Blind fanaticism and doom go hand in hand. If we don't find some common ground soon, it'll collapse beneath us. Luis left saying that he'd be waiting at the royal capital. only one place he could be. All eyes are on his Skyrunner as it rises to the flying palace. What are we about to see?
Ah, the royal palace. It's been a while. Do you hear me, O king? Stubborn and deathless? This country is distorted. You and the other titled authorities decide who grows fat and who is devoured. The country knows no war only because our very core is built upon a system of societal predator and prey. It cannot be defied from within. That is peace, but not order. Hand over the royal scepter. The game is over. The country needs change, and I will provide it.
Thou impertinent faith-breaker, hast thou no shame in preempting the day of judgment?
Do you presume yourself a god? Is that why you wrought your face in stone and took it to the heavens? You're nothing. Just an ordinary, broken old man.
How wouldst thou wield the king's magic? To what end?
To purify all that your kind have left to rot. You threw away your ideals, but I will never make that mistake.
Only the people's chosen may take the throne. The royal scepter and its resting place remain beyond you.
This royal scepter, the royal magic. Did you think that only generations of kings were aware of their secrets? Why someone can manipulate world-changing power by use of only a single scepter? Why only those supported by the people can use it? Listen well, O king. The truth behind the royal magic. Huh. So it's true. The country truly is putrid with sin. In other words, if I took hold of it now, then I would have the power to change the world itself.
How didst thou learn of this?
How?
Thou wert Elda.
You were not always blind to this country's rot. When you visited our sanctum, I saw and knew the passion in your heart. And yet, what happened to our village? What happened to this country?
Oh.
Será que o cetro tá roubando a magia dos outros pra ser tão poderoso?
Nor can anyone else. Save one lone possibility.
Snatching victory from the maw of catastrophe, the party descends again on the royal capital, Grand Tran, but they are greeted only by ominous skies. Their return hardly counts as a triumph, considering how they departed. Anticipating conflict, the Gauntlet Runner comes to a quiet stop.
What the hell's wrong with the sky?
Isn't that... Boy!
Parece a lua do Majora's Mask, né?
That's why the sky's grown so hellish. The half-dead bastard returns with his head held high.
A more aggressive welcome than I expected. Would any introductions help them to understand?
It's useless. Words are cheap. Still, we should walk with pride instead of trying to keep our heads down.
True enough.
His Royal Highness, the Prince, returns! Luis distorted his form through strange and terrible magics, but the curse is now dispelled. His true form has been restored!
Oi, if that's really His Highness, then tell us why ain't His Majesty in the sky stop all this bloodshed?
'Cause he's an imposter! Just like Count Luis said! You'll not fool us again, beast!
Oi! Calm down.
At least listen.
And you! Never thought I'd see one of the Magnus brothers standing against Count Luis, even the thick one. He took in a paripus like you, and you spit on him. Scum! Only thing traitors deserve is a tight rope and a stiff beam. And you want us to support the prince?
Só tem babaca aqui.
Lady Juno, I can't believe this. I admired you. Why would you risk dying alongside some fake prince?
I don't intend on dying with anyone. Besides, I'm still me, whoever I'm standing with.
Hey, you chief! Weren't you the wretch who got kicked out of the knighthood? Now you're with this pack of throne chasers. Shame. Shame! Mustari girl! You ungrateful pagan! Count Luis brought down the Sanctus Church for you!
How dare you strike out at him?
They're all traitors, I say!
What is all this? The truth of the prince hardly matters to them. Every one of them's only concerned with their own emotions.
É sempre todo mundo assim.
We'll have your heads on pikes soon enough. Leave! Get out of our royal capital!
If they're just monsters, we can deal with them ourselves. How about it?
Vai, gente, vem cá, vamos tentar.
They really are out for our blood. Has everyone gone insane?
Oi, over here! Don't bother with them. No talking this one out. You need to run now.
We weren't away from the city that long. What happened? Why are all the people so bloodthirsty now?
The prince turning into a monster before their eyes still lingers in their minds. After all, a monster entered into their society disguised as a person.
No, that's not...
I know, it's not true. But truth and how it appears to the citizens are different beasts. Moreover, humans have been sighted closer than ever before. The royal capital's populace is unused to danger, so they've become suspicious of each other. How fares your neighbor? Do you run in circles with monsters in disguise? Are questions on the tip of every tongue. Ever since Forden's death, Luis has everyone on a knife edge. He's erratic, and nobody knows how he'll react to those who defy him if push comes to shove.
So, at the core of it, people are scared witless, and they cling to Luis as a savior, rather than the devil he is.
You well know that Luis cares not one whit about social status, especially as a token of birthright. No amount of wealth or standing can buy his protection. So even those who may have opposed him at first now counsel that condemning him would be imprudent, as it puts their safety at risk.
Then we're stuffed. He won't save anyone. And oh yeah, he can create humans, by the way.
Oh, that's all true then. I have my suspicions, but it's still a bit of a jolt. This all said, in my humble opinion, what we're seeing in the people now has been in the works for some time. Now, has the tournament for the throne truly ever been a fair contest? The Sanctus Church bent it to its whim, and I abetted that. To my shame. Before I met you people, I didn't have much to me but anger and quips. I'd rant and snipe and have my cynical little discourse, but I'd only looked to others for change. Now maybe that outlook's our real enemy. Blind fanaticism, like I had. Even if there's no malice to it, it's a dangerous thing. Hard to think clear when your mind's a muddy stream.
We've been told
Você gosta de falar, né, cara?
people's anxiety. Perhaps the proof is now before our eyes.
Kind of ironic. But we have to do something about it. If we don't, they'll never listen. We'll only ever be seen as an enemy.
I had the inn prepared. They won't let anyone in but you lot. Let's head there for now, shall we?
Neuras disse que vai voltar pro tratador. Acho que o povo da cidade se acalmou, pelo menos por um pouco. Não seria fácil para as pessoas destruírem nosso tratador, mas mesmo assim é melhor não deixá-lo sozinho. Vamos pra abelha calada, todos já foram pra lá. Eu queria melhorar uma dessas paradinhas até o final. Ó, ele já foi o curandeiro tá no 8, esse tá no 4. O outro é o Stroll. Cara, eu vou deixar o Stroll com esse arquétipo do guerreiro, porque ele é o que pode chegar mais perto. Tem a cavaleira aqui, ó, mas ela tinha que voltar a ser cavaleiro mágico, chegar no level 20, pra aí sim conseguir aprender essa do cavaleiro mágico. Ah, ela consegue ser cavaleiro sombrio. Cara, não tem como chegar até o final numa run só, não. Se não manter as paradas para uma segunda run, não vai rolar, não. Eu teria que reiniciar e continuar de onde a gente tá. Enfim. É que faltou essa missão aqui, ó. Com o Moore. Nossa, faltou 3 missões só, né? Cara, será que... Pode ser que falte mais coisas depois. Eu tenho que ficar andando com essa porcaria aqui e até atingir XKM. Tem que ficar falando com a fada aqui também no triângulo. Tenho muitas vezes pra falar pra ganhar uns troféus. Tá bom, vamos salvar aqui. Estamos com 70 horas de jogo, mas agora eu realmente acho que estamos indo pro final. E bem, galera, eu vou finalizar essa live por aqui. Na próxima a gente volta pra ir atrás do Luis e ver se essa vai ser realmente a batalha final ou se eles vão dar pelo menos mais um tempinho pra gente. De uma coisa eu tenho certeza, eles vão falar pra caramba. Enfim. E valeu os que acompanharam até aqui, a gente se vê na próxima então. Até mais.